Yo, 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 what's going on, my fellow YouTube friends? Check it out. So just like we were discussing, even though it took a little longer than we were expecting, a lot more choppiness, this is working out to a damn T of what we were expecting. So we got this falling wedge we talked about in the last video. It played out very nicely, and here we are, breaking through, actually, my price target expectation of $26.79. So we were talking about how this this rising wedge we've been in, we've been chopping through. We could have came up here, tested it, came back down here, and chopped our way back up. But, of course, we got a lot more bullish price action there than we were anticipating as far as, timing-wise, because it could have easily played out like this. So I'm very happy with that. I wasn't going to make a video here because I'm still getting over a little bit of a cold here, but as we see, we ripped to the target that we had. Now we got to check out some things here, because although this could look very, very nice, it can also turn out a little bit ugly at the same time here. So we gotta keep an eye on what's going on. So, for me, you could call me crazy, call me whatever you want, but I actually bought a put on CCL here for a 25.71 break even, and I did that right around this 26.80 level here. So the price came up here, looks like 27.50. I guess pretty much tapped this wick over here if we were to draw a trend line, but I think you guys get the picture. But anyway, just to make it look, see this little wick right here, we were going off of these wicks. Well, it came up to this wick. Kind of funny how things play out here. But if we just drew this across, whatever, I'm not going to spend too much time. Look at how perfectly that touched right there. That's the trend line right there. So it's like those little things that you could miss something by a few cents as far as like the exact peak there. It might have been a fib retracement level as well, because we didn't actually do any fib retracements. But if we took this from the swing low here to the swing high here, actually I think it would have been the other 26.80, or if you did a retracement, I guess would be from this swing high to the swing low if you're looking for like a downside retracement. So you can go as high as 28.91. The 0.382 is at 23.85. That's really where we were chopping around. Once we broke that, we pretty much just blasted through the 0.5 fib. It didn't give us too much struggle. So, for me, I'm kind of looking at, and I'm going from I usually go from the swing low to the swing high, but that's only if we're looking at an extension to the upside. If we're looking at retracements here, which I am, we want to look down at the low here, 0.5 fib, 25.33. That might give us some support, but really I'm looking at this 23.85 to 24.30 level, to be honest. I'm talking about some downside here. Personally, it takes a lot of force to get through these rising wedges here, and we had a very big one, and this is still a bearish pattern. Even though we broke through, of course we can come down and somehow maintain the top of it and create something else, but to me it's a little more unlikely to expect that. So I'm kind of expecting it to come back in here and maybe regain some support on this 23.85 to this 24.30. And if we do actually maintain it and somehow we create some kind of new support there, then we can do what I've talked about already, where this thing doesn't have to break all the way back down to where the target is, because the target of the rising wedge is the start of the rising wedge, and the start of the rising wedge is at $19. So, with that being said, that would be a big box to drop down to here if we do lose this eventually here. But it would look pretty good if we did, because then you could be looking at maybe a double bottom from there. However, I don't think we're going to get down there. Could we? Yes. Do I expect it? Not really, but that is the target, so we have to keep that in mind. So basically where I'm at, I'm looking for this to come back down, maybe reclaim some support, maybe break it. If we break it, then we probably will be heading down. But if we can control this area here again, on a back test of some sort, then we would definitely be saying that CCL is on a new level here, and it's going to be heading up towards those $50 ranges. But until we reclaim somewhere in this range from this 24.30 to, you know, somewhere down here. It can go as low as what's that main support? I'd look for like 23.26. So anyway, that's just me basing it off of this recent price action. I mean, it's not going to come down tomorrow, I wouldn't think. You know, I wouldn't think it's just going to crash right on down. But you know, over the next few weeks or maybe days, I don't know how long it'll take. I'm expecting it to come back down from here. You know, we're getting a little overextended already on the daily. I mean, not crazy, but you know, look at the past price action. What happens when CCL gets up in this this RSI range here? You know, roughly 79, actually, roughly 80. I mean, it doesn't usually get much higher than that, you know, and that's just giving it a little extra. Whoops. Freaking Uphold. I'm on that as well. Well, you know, whatever. You get the picture. The RSI can come up into this range of this 80. It doesn't usually go much higher. There's not much, you know, there's a few times it went up higher, but not much. Well, that's one way to look at it anyway. You know, we can look at this RSI we already were looking at here. We were looking at this as like our rising wedge. I didn't really draw a top trend line because it wasn't that kind of like a rising broadening wedge. I mean, if you did it like that, you'd be looking at that, and then we're saying there's our peak right there. We just tapped it. But I don't know. I don't like to call in tops exactly, but like I said, I did open up. I did buy a put. So I like this price action. This is the exact price action that I was looking for, and this is the exact, well, close enough to the targets that we were calling on the channel on the last CCL video. So if we were to continue up here, I mean, I was trying to figure out how I wanted to draw this trend line because it's not that clean. It's a lot of chop here, but we could like, I'm trying to see where would this support be. I mean, if you ask me, I would say it's roughly where I just drew it because we back tested it there, and then when we lost it, I mean, that's one way. It's either that or, you know, the worst part would be drawing it like something like this, which would be shitty because then it would make the perfect case on what's going on here, and it almost looks pretty good. I mean, you got that wick here that came down, it touched. That wick there almost touched. I mean, this trend line could be off a little. Another wick here, and then we look, and then another wick here, and what happens when we lose this trend line? We frickin' tumbled. And then what do we do now? We're back testing it right here. So, I mean, could this be just a retracement back to the old previous support to flip it as resistance and then tumble? Yes, that could be what's going on here. And I was kind of thinking that when I was talking about it coming back up. That's why I drew this trend line at 26.79 there, which I just deleted. That was the proof. But so that's kind of where I'm at here. So we're just going to want to keep our eyes on all this here. I mean, we could probably draw, you know, our support and resistance flips from here too. We could do something like that, and then that would give us an even bigger rising wedge here that broke down. I like that too. That's triple touches there. That might even look cleaner. So if that's going on, then we have a little bit more room we could come up, because we could actually come all the way up to the 32 level, and then that would be the back test of the previous support. So I don't know how it's going to play out. It's definitely, in my opinion, not going to go straight up. There's going to be some more chop, but it'll be a little less chop now because we've got through that shitty price action there. So yeah, I'm going to keep my put open anyway. Like I said, I got a 25.71 break even price, so I can make some money here. And then maybe we can come back down here, reclaim that, maybe take another rip out of here. Or we might have to break down and create something different, like a big falling wedge again. I don't know how it's going to happen, but we just want to keep an eye on this range down here we already discussed, and that's pretty much where I'm at. If we did reclaim above this $27, really the $27, if we reclaim that 27, then I'm going to have to like close my puts and shit, because this thing's going to be really setting up if we created some kind of bull flag. But, you know, it can be in this range too if we did flag out. We just got to keep an eye on what's going on. I mean, if it chops around here and starts going sideways and creating another continuation pattern to the upside, then. But for now, I'm just kind of remaining where I stand. So, you know, that's just looking at the daily. Look at the 4 hour. You can see our RSI is a little overextended. You know, we can probably, I mean, maybe we could draw something like that, but that just shows the breakout. So, I mean, if RSI came back down, we could look for some support down in this range potentially. If you lose that, that's a breakdown. So I would draw something like that if you're in CCL and just kind of wanted to keep an eye on everything. Just draw like a nice channel on the 4 hour, or I did it off the daily, I think, but you know, you can pretty much line these up however you want. I was just going off of these first two here, and then that was the nice double bottom here, nice falling wedge that happened, and then we broke to the upside. And then that upper trend line is just off of the 4 hour. But you could draw it off the daily and see something a little bit differently too. If you wanted to, that would have shown your breakout a little bit better. Do something like that, and then you would have seen it was a true breakout right there. And you would have went, oh shit, I'm in right here. And this probably would have been about 25 something. Nice entry right there. And it might come back down. It might back test it a little bit, come back up for one more, and then create some divergence, and then come back down, maybe into this pattern, maybe break down, maybe double bottom back. I don't know. It's hard to say what, like, I can't plan out what it's going to do, but I can say if I expect it to come back down or not based off of overextension levels and potential divergences. I mean, I don't really see anything on the daily yet. It's a little too soon. You know, if we look here, we had some divergence there, but, you know, that already played out. It kind of looks like it's creating a nice small little potential, some kind of pattern here, like a bull flag or something maybe, or maybe it's a rising, might be a little bit of a rising channel, but you could look at it like that too on the 1 hour time frame on the RSI. I mean, this is the most true indicator that you can find. So, you know, for me, I just went strictly off of price as far as doing puts and stuff. That's why I opened one, because I just knew that level was something I charted out for a while. And we talked about it on this channel, how I could tap this 26.79 and that could be the end of it for a little while. So because I planned that, I didn't even have to look at the chart, RSI, or anything. I just waited for that price, and then I said, all right, slapping a put for October, I don't know, 20-something. Couldn't go closer, but I just don't like to try to time the market. So on the 1 hour right now, we're looking like we're going to have a MACD sell signal, but, you know, that could play out. You could just draw a little rising channel here if you wanted to, just to, you know, see the shorter term time frame, something like that. I mean, I'm just kind of half-assing it, but, and then you break that, you come back down to this pattern, which is right around that 23.57. So that's kind of where I'm looking at. But you know, we can catch support on this wedge too. We could catch support right here, 25.90, and then we get a bounce. And if we can't break that $27, 26, you know, whatever, 79. If we can't break that again on the next push up, say we come down to this 25 something, 25.90 and catch, or we come down to, you can come down as low as 24.60 or as low as 23.60. I'm not sure what it's going to do here. Unless it breaks this channel here, then we can come down pretty low. But I personally would expect us to tap somewhere in this range of this 25.90, maybe make another swing to the upside, and then if we get rejected there, then you got to expect that we're going to come back down here and potentially a little lower. But I am waiting. I want CCL to take the cake and rip all the way to new highs, but I'm just trying to play the charts like as they go. You know, I can't tell you right now where it's going to be, if it's going to be able to make it back up and test this upper green line of $34, or if it's going to come up here into the 33s. But for now, it looks like that was something good that could happen there. So, you know, really, I'm not going to make this video any longer. I'm rambling a shit ton. I'm sorry for that. Basically, like I said, we need to reclaim this area. If we can reclaim this area, then we can definitely see some big moves. But until then, I will stay short, and I would close my position potentially down in this range. The put options are still cheap. I'm not even like up that much in it. I'm only up like, I don't know, 5%. And it might still have some movement tomorrow. If anyone is interested in doing that with me, that's up to you. Unless you're crazy bullish, then don't do it. You might just trade up in this channel, and then I might be wrong, and then I might close it. But I made good money, though, off of these plays because I've been buying since 1945. And then I'm still keeping some in the long term. And I did have a small trade that I opened that I took my profits up here. Half of the position. I'll keep the other half in case we come back down here, reclaim, and head back up. I don't want to be sold out yet. So that's what I'm seeing. I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope it's not too boring. I rambled a lot. Peace.